Chosen one, stop right now and listen. Not later, not after you finish scrolling. This moment is heavier than it looks. Today is not ordinary, and deep inside, you already know that. Something has been stirring in your spirit since you woke up, an awareness you couldn't fully explain, a pressure mixed with expectation. That is not anxiety. That is activation. Heaven is signaling you. Today marks your next level, and this message arrives as confirmation, not coincidence. You are not like the rest, and you never were. From the beginning, you sensed it. You tried to fit in, to quiet yourself, to become smaller so life would feel easier, but it never worked. Your soul refused to cooperate with mediocrity, even when you wanted peace, comfort, or simplicity. Your spirit kept reaching for more. Not more things, more meaning, more truth, more purpose. That inner pull was never random. It was the evidence of calling. You've carried weight others couldn't see. Silent battles, internal wars, long seasons where it felt like progress stalled while everyone else moved forward. You questioned why your path demanded so much endurance, so much patience, so much restraint. But hear this clearly, the delay was strategic. God was building capacity in you before releasing responsibility through you. What's coming requires strength not everyone has. That's why not everyone was chosen to walk your road. There were moments you almost gave up, moments where quitting felt logical, moments where compromise whispered, just choose the easier way. But something stopped you every time. A restraint, a conviction, a quiet but firm resistance inside that said, don't do it, no matter the price. That wasn't willpower, that was divine interruption. Grace stepped in when you were too tired to fight for yourself. This is where urgency enters. Procrastination has reached its limit. You are no longer in a season where delay is harmless. What you ignore now will demand payment later. Mercy is still present, but it is shifting from comfort to command. God is not angry with you, but He is serious about you. Heaven is watching how you respond when clarity arrives. In the middle of this awakening, anchor yourself in what has already been spoken. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 18, verse 28. You, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. That word is alive right now. God is not waiting for you to escape the darkness before He acts. He turns it into light. The very place where you were confused becomes the place of revelation. The season that drained you becomes the season that defines you. What once felt like weakness is about to become authority. Chosen one. This is why resistance has increased lately. Your growth is no longer hidden. Your discernment is sharper. Your presence is heavier in the spirit realm. Darkness reacts when light intensifies. That's not something to fear, it's something to recognize. You are not under attack because you are failing. You are under pressure because you are advancing. Today is a dividing line. Before today, you were being prepared. After today, you are being positioned. This is not about perfection. It's about alignment. Obedience unlocks acceleration. One clear yes can move you years ahead. One surrendered decision can collapse cycles that took decades to repeat. If this message is speaking directly to you, don't ignore the instruction attached to it. Like this message, share it with someone who is also carrying weight in silence, and subscribe to stay connected because this is not a one-time word. This is a season of unfolding. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are not losing ground. You are standing at the threshold of your next level, and heaven is waiting on your response. At the end of this section, mark this moment. Comment the number 777 below, not as superstition, but as a declaration that light is replacing darkness and alignment is happening now. Chosen one, understand this once awareness arrives. Innocence is gone. You cannot unknow what you now know. Your spirit has been alerted and responsibility follows revelation. What you do next will either deepen your authority or delay your release. Neutrality is no longer an option for you. You may feel fear trying to rise, but that fear is only proof that movement is near. Fear always surfaces before elevation. Do not negotiate with it. Do not analyze it. Step forward anyway. Courage is not absence of fear, it is obedience in spite of it. What you protect in this season will multiply. Guard your focus, guard your mouth, guard your time. Not everyone deserves access to you now. This is a consecrated moment. Distractions are not random. They are assignments meant to slow your momentum. Remember this as you move forward, heaven backs alignment. When you choose what is right over what is easy, unseen forces move on your behalf. Paths open, resistance breaks. You are not walking alone. You are being escorted into what was promised. You have always sensed that your story began before your memory. Long before you learned language. Long before you understood struggle. Something was already set in motion concerning you. This is why your life never felt random. Even in childhood, you carried an awareness that went beyond your age. You noticed things others missed. You felt deeply questioned early and resisted being shaped by systems that tried to label you too quickly. That was not imagination. That was recognition. You were marked before birth, not by people, but by God. And being marked does not mean life becomes easier, it means life becomes intentional. From the very beginning, there was a distinction on you. That distinction is why conformity felt like suffocation. It's why your spirit reacted strongly to injustice, hypocrisy, and shallow living. You were never meant to simply exist. You were designed to discern, to carry weight, to hold truth without apology. As you grew, the mark began to draw both favor and friction. Some were drawn to you without knowing why. Others resisted you without reason. You learned early that your presence alone could shift a room, sometimes creating peace, other times discomfort. That contrast followed you because light exposes even when it's quiet. You didn't need to speak loudly, your awareness already spoke for you. There were moments when you tried to ignore this calling. Times you wished you could just be normal, unseen, unbothered, unburdened. You attempted to shrink your depth so you wouldn't stand out. But every time you did, something inside you rebelled. Your spirit refused to live beneath its assignment. That resistance wasn't pride, it was purpose pushing back against suppression. You've wondered why you had to mature so quickly. Why responsibility found you early. Why you were asked to carry things others were protected from. The answer is simple but heavy: capacity. God entrusted you with weight because He knew you could survive it without losing your core. While others were shielded, you were strengthened. While others were spared, you were shaped. There is a reason you survived what should have broken you. A reason you walked away with scars but not bitterness. A reason you still believe, even after disappointment. That reason traces back to the moment you were formed. Heaven invested early because heaven saw far. What you are stepping into now required a foundation built over time, not overnight. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 16, a truth is revealed about your beginning. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. That word explains why your life feels scripted beyond your control. Days were ordained, not improvised. Moments were written, not guessed. Even the detours you questioned were already accounted for. This is why despair never fully owned you. Somewhere beneath the confusion, your spirit knew there was order behind the chaos. Being chosen does not mean you are superior. It means you are accountable. Chosen ones are refined earlier, corrected more sharply, redirected more firmly. That's why consequences taught you faster lessons. That's why conviction followed you closely. God was not being strict, he was being precise. He was guarding what he invested. Now, as this season unfolds, you are beginning to see the pattern. Nothing was wasted, not the confusion, not the loneliness, not the long waits. Each piece was placed intentionally, like a foundation being poured underground while no one else could see it. Visibility always comes later. Depth always comes first. You are no longer asking if you were chosen. You are beginning to understand why. And that understanding is the bridge between preparation and purpose. That realization will change how you interpret your past. You stop calling it loss and start calling it alignment. What once felt like rejection now looks like redirection. God was not removing people to hurt you, but to protect what was forming inside you. You will also notice a new seriousness settling in your spirit. Not heaviness, but clarity. You no longer tolerate what drains you. You no longer chase what distracts you. Discernment sharpens when purpose comes into focus, and you begin choosing with intention, not emotion. With this clarity comes separation. Some connections naturally fall silent. Some doors close without explanation. Do not resist this. Pruning is proof of growth. God cuts away what cannot follow you into the next dimension of responsibility and authority. Carry this truth forward: what was written cannot be undone. Your assignment stands even when you feel uncertain. Walk steadily. Trust the process. The same hand that marked you before birth is guiding you now. Step by step, you will feel moments of quiet confidence rising where fear once lived. Not loud, not rushed, just steady assurance. This is the result of alignment settling into your spirit. When you walk in what was written, you no longer need constant confirmation. Peace becomes your signal. You are beginning to understand something that once confused you: the pain was never random. Every closed door, every misunderstood season, every time you were forced to walk alone was not abandonment, it was instruction. God was teaching you how to stand without applause, how to hear without noise, how to obey without guarantees. That kind of training is not given to everyone. It is reserved for those who will one day carry authority without becoming corrupted by it. You didn't just survive hardship, you were shaped by it. While others collapsed under pressure, you adapted. While others became bitter, you became deeper. You learned how to read between words, how to sense shifts before they happened, how to remain steady when things fell apart. These were not personality traits, you were being armed. Heaven was building discernment into you because discernment will protect you in the next level more than talent ever could. There were seasons when it felt unfair. You did the right thing and still lost. You stayed loyal and still got left behind. You obeyed, yet the reward seemed delayed. But here is the truth that reframes everything. Preparation often looks like loss when you don't yet see the assignment. God was not withholding blessing. He was preventing premature exposure. What's coming would have crushed the earlier version of you. You were trained in silence so you wouldn't need validation. You were humbled so power wouldn't intoxicate you. You were slowed down so accuracy could be perfected. This is why you now notice that chaos doesn't pull you the way it pulls others. Drama exhausts you. Shallow conversations feel empty. Your spirit craves substance because you were prepared for weight. Pain refined your voice. You no longer speak just to be heard, you speak when it matters. You choose words carefully because you understand their impact. Even your restraint has power now. When you walk into rooms, you don't announce yourself, yet presence follows you. That is not confidence you learned, it is authority you earned. There were moments you thought something was wrong with you because you couldn't tolerate what others normalized. Environments where compromise was accepted drained you. Relationships without depth frustrated you. But that discomfort was not judgment, it was misalignment. God was pulling you out of spaces that would have diluted what He was forming. According to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18. There is a perspective heaven wants you to adopt. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Not revealed to you, revealed in you. That distinction matters. The glory is not just ahead, it has been developing internally through pressure. Your endurance created spiritual muscle. Your patience built stability. Your obedience carved out capacity. What emerges next will not be fragile because it was not formed in comfort. You are now stepping into a phase where your past begins to make sense. Patterns become clear. Lessons connect. What once felt like scattered fragments now reveals a design. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start saying, "I see what this produced in me." That shift is maturity, that shift is readiness. But hear this carefully, preparation does not end until obedience begins. Knowledge without action becomes weight. Revelation without response becomes delay. You are not being informed, you are being summoned. God does not reveal this much without expecting movement. Small, precise obedience will unlock momentum faster than dramatic gestures ever could. This is also where separation sharpens. Some people will no longer recognize you not because you changed personalities, but because you changed priorities. You no longer bond over wounds, you bond over purpose. You no longer explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Silence becomes strategic. Focus becomes sacred. Now is the moment where you respond internally and externally. Internally by accepting that your pain qualified you. Externally by declaring alignment. This declaration is not for God, He already knows. It is for you. Words anchor decisions into reality. Comment this below, "I am ready." That sentence is short because readiness is not about explanation. By typing it, you are acknowledging that the preparation worked, that resistance didn't break you, and that you are willing to move forward even without seeing every step yet. You are signaling agreement with what heaven has already decided. You are no longer surviving. You are transitioning, and transitions always require a response. When you comment, "I am ready," you are not making a casual statement. You are declaring that hesitation no longer leads your decisions. You are acknowledging that preparation has reached its threshold and that obedience now takes priority over comfort, fear, or familiarity in this season. By typing, "I am ready," you are also closing doors behind you. You are choosing growth over familiarity, truth over approval, and purpose over delay. This declaration aligns your will with heaven's timing, signaling that you accept responsibility for what you have been prepared to carry next. You are entering a phase where the weight of your calling becomes unmistakable. What once felt abstract now feels personal, urgent, and close. This is the point where awareness turns into tension. You sense that something must change, not around you, but within you. Old patterns no longer fit. Old excuses no longer satisfy. The life you tolerated before now feels too small for the person you are becoming. This is divine tension. It is not meant to paralyze you, it is meant to position you. When God begins to draw a line between who you were and who you are becoming, discomfort is unavoidable. You may feel restless even when things seem calm. You may feel unsettled even when nothing is outwardly wrong. That unease is a signal that grace is pushing you forward. In this season, delay becomes dangerous, not because God is impatient, but because clarity has been granted. When light increases, responsibility increases with it. You are no longer operating in ignorance. You see more. You understand more. And because of that, procrastination carries consequences it didn't carry before. What once could be postponed must now be confronted. You may notice that mercy feels different now. It is still present, but it is firmer. It corrects instead of comforts. It warns instead of waits. This is not cruelty. It is care. God disciplines what He intends to elevate. He interrupts what He intends to advance. If He were done with you, He would let you drift. But you are being restrained because you matter. There is also a narrowing happening. Options that once seemed available begin to close. Distractions lose their appeal. Tolerance for compromise evaporates. This narrowing is intentional. God is removing excess so your focus can sharpen. Wide paths are comfortable, but they rarely lead to destiny. Precision requires constraint. You may feel exposed in this stage, without the old coping mechanisms, without familiar distractions. You are left alone with your thoughts and convictions. That exposure is not to shame you, but to align you. Masks cannot survive elevation. God is not interested in presenting a version of you that impresses people. He is forming a version that withstands pressure. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14, and its authority still stands. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Stillness here does not mean passivity. It means restraint. It means refusing to act out of fear, panic, or ego. You are learning how to stand without reacting, how to trust without controlling, how to move only when instructed. This discipline will protect you when visibility increases and opposition becomes louder. As tension rises, temptation also intensifies. Old habits resurface. Familiar voices try to pull you back. Comfort disguises itself as wisdom. But discernment allows you to recognize what is familiar versus what is faithful. Not everything that feels safe is sent. Not everything that relieves pressure is aligned with purpose. You are also becoming aware of spiritual resistance. Not dramatic, not obvious, but subtle. Delays, confusion, fatigue. These are not signs of failure. They are indicators of transition. Resistance often appears right before breakthrough, attempting to exhaust you into surrender. But this is where endurance proves its value. You have already endured more than this. You have already survived worse than this. This stage asks for quiet obedience, not public declarations, not dramatic gestures, just consistent alignment, showing up when no one sees, choosing truth when compromise would be easier, resting when striving would look more impressive. These small acts are building momentum beneath the surface. You may not feel powerful right now. You may feel restrained, limited, even slowed down. But restraint is often the final preparation before release. God tightens control before increasing reach. He refines precision before expanding influence. What feels like limitation is actually calibration. The tension you feel is the stretching of capacity. You are being prepared to hold more responsibility, more clarity, more impact. And expansion always stretches before it settles. Do not misinterpret this discomfort as a warning to retreat. It is an invitation to deepen trust. You are not on the edge of collapse. You are on the edge of alignment. The pressure you feel is not breaking you. It is positioning you. And soon, what feels tight will feel right. As alignment deepens, you will notice a new steadiness replacing urgency. Decisions become quieter but clearer. You no longer rush to prove anything because security has shifted inward. This calm is not stagnation, it is mastery. When the soul is aligned, movement becomes intentional, and every step carries weight. Hold this posture as you move forward. Stillness will guide your timing, restraint will guard your strength, and clarity will protect your focus. You are learning how to advance without force. This discipline ensures that when momentum is released, it will carry you forward, not scatter you. You arrive at a quiet realization this level is not louder than the last one, it is deeper. There is less need to explain yourself here, less desire to announce movement. You are no longer fueled by urgency, but by clarity. What once felt like pressure now feels like direction. You are not chasing the future, you are aligning with it. At this stage, your inner world becomes sacred ground. You notice how easily attention can be fragmented, how quickly the soul can be diluted by constant noise. And so you choose differently. You choose fewer voices, fewer distractions, fewer unnecessary battles. Not because you are afraid of opposition, but because you respect the weight you carry. What is holy must be guarded, not displayed. You begin to understand that growth is not always about addition. Sometimes it is about subtraction. God removes what once served you but can no longer follow you. Old motivations lose relevance. Old measures of success feel hollow. You no longer measure progress by applause, but by alignment. Peace becomes your confirmation. There is a sacred patience forming in you now, not passivity patience, the kind that knows when to wait and when to move, the kind that does not panic when doors close, because it trusts that what is meant for you cannot miss you. You are learning to stand without fidgeting, to listen without interrupting, to move without forcing. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness, to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart. That wilderness was not punishment, it was examination. It revealed what could not be taught any other way. It showed you where your trust truly rested. And now, as you stand here, you realize the test worked. You are not the same person who entered that season. You are steadier, quieter, stronger in ways that cannot be seen at a glance. You also begin to notice something subtle happening around you. Certain paths seem to glow when you look at them. Not because they are easy, but because they are true. Other paths, once appealing, now feel dim. This is discernment at work. You are not being restricted, you are being guided. In this space, connection becomes meaningful again. Not connection built on noise or urgency, but on resonance. When something aligns, it feels like recognition rather than persuasion. You don't have to be pushed. You don't have to be convinced. You simply know. That knowing is gentle, but it is firm. There is a moment when you come across a well in the desert. No sign points to it. No voice commands you to stop. Yet something in you knows if you have walked this far, you may want to drink. Not because you are told to, but because thirst recognizes water. Some people pause only briefly, nod in gratitude, and continue their journey. Others sit for a while, letting the stillness settle into their bones. And a few decide to return again, not out of obligation, but because something here nourishes them. No one is judged for the choice. Each step is voluntary. Each response is sincere. To like this message is like placing a stone beside the well, quietly saying, "This mattered to me." To share it is like drawing a simple map in the sand for another traveler who may be walking at night. To subscribe is choosing to walk this stretch of the road together, not hurried, not forced, but aligned in direction. None of this is demanded. Meaning never is. What is real always invites, never pressures. Those who recognize the weight of a moment do not need to be convinced, they simply respond in the way that feels true to them. What matters is that you keep moving forward with integrity, with attentiveness, with reverence for the process that brought you here. This level does not ask you to hurry, it asks you to remain true, and you do. From here, movement becomes quieter but more deliberate. You no longer announce direction change it. You simply adjust your steps and keep walking. Confidence no longer needs witnesses because it is rooted in knowing who guides you and why you move. You will notice that peace now functions as a boundary. When something threatens it, you pause. When something strengthens it, you proceed. This inner signal becomes more reliable than advice, more accurate than fear, more stable than emotion. Gratitude deepens as awareness sharpens. You recognize how far you've come without needing to relive the struggle. Memory loses its sting and keeps its lesson. The past no longer pulls you backward, it quietly supports you from behind. Carry this posture forward. Let clarity guard your pace and patience protect your strength. What unfolds next will not require striving. It will respond to alignment. And because you are aligned, the path ahead will meet you step by step. Something subtle but undeniable is happening now. You are no longer reacting to life the way you once did. Situations that used to pull strong emotions from you now meet a calmer, more measured response. This is not detachment. It is authority settling into place. When the inner world stabilizes, the outer world loses its power to control you. You are beginning to sense movement before it becomes visible. Decisions form internally before circumstances shift externally. This is the sign of alignment maturing. You are no longer waiting for confirmation from people or events. You are learning to recognize when heaven has already spoken. Silence no longer scares you, it informs you. At this level, temptation changes shape. It no longer looks like obvious wrong, it looks like reasonable delay, comfortable compromise, justified distraction. You could pause here and still look faithful. You could slow down and still appear wise. But deep inside, you know this season is asking for precision, not appearances. What is required of you now is not intensity, but consistency. You may feel a narrowing of focus again, not because options are being taken away, but because clarity is increasing. When vision sharpens, unnecessary paths fade naturally. You are not being deprived, you are being directed. God does not confuse those He intends to advance. You might also notice a new sensitivity to alignment. When something is off, you feel it quickly. When something is right, peace confirms it quietly. This sensitivity is a safeguard. It keeps you from overextending, from forcing doors, from partnering with what looks promising but carries no grace. Discernment is now part of your daily awareness, not a special skill you access only in crisis. There is a weight to this stage, but it is not heavy, it is steady. Responsibility rests differently now. You understand that what you carry affects more than just you. Your obedience influences outcomes you may never see directly. Your restraint prevents consequences you may never fully know. This awareness does not burden you, it grounds you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, the chapter 7, verse 24, Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. You are building on the rock now, not with noise, not with haste, but with faithfulness. Each choice rooted in truth reinforces the foundation. Storms may still come, but collapse is no longer a threat. What you are building has depth. This is also a season where timing matters more than speed. You are learning when to speak and when to remain silent, when to advance and when to wait. Wisdom is no longer theoretical, it is operational. You apply it instinctively, almost without effort. That is growth revealing itself. Now comes a moment of response, not loud, not dramatic, but intentional. Words carry alignment when they are chosen carefully. This is one of those moments. At the end of this section, comment the number 222 below. This number represents alignment, confirmation, and right timing. It signifies that things are lining up even if you cannot see the full picture yet. By writing 222, you are declaring trust in divine order, patience in the process, and confidence that what is being built now will stand. You are not waiting anymore. You are building correctly, steadily, and in alignment. When you comment 222, you are not asking for signs. You are recognizing alignment. You are acknowledging that even if every detail is not visible yet, the direction is clear. This number reflects balance and agreement, a quiet confirmation that your inner posture and God's timing are beginning to meet without resistance. Typing 222 is also an act of patience made visible. It says you are no longer rushing outcomes or forcing doors. You are choosing to trust the process while remaining attentive. This is not passive waiting. It is active alignment, staying ready while allowing things to unfold in proper order. By commenting 222, you are declaring that you accept divine order over personal urgency. You are choosing structure over chaos, peace over pressure, wisdom over impulse. This declaration anchors your spirit, reminding you that what is built slowly and correctly will last, even when seasons change. Finally, 222 marks agreement. Agreement between what you sense internally and what heaven is arranging externally. It is a quiet yes to timing, to preparation, and to the unseen work happening now. This number becomes a reminder that alignment does not shout, it settles, confirms and strengthens you from within. When you comment 222, you are also making a quiet covenant with consistency. You are saying that you will remain steady even when progress feels slow, that you will keep choosing alignment over impulse. This declaration reinforces your commitment to walk in order, not emotion, as this season unfolds. By writing 222, you remind yourself that confirmation does not always arrive with noise. Sometimes it comes as peace, clarity, and calm assurance. This comment becomes a marker you can return to, a signal that you chose trust over control and allowed divine timing to lead without resistance. There is a quiet recalibration taking place now, one that doesn't announce itself but reshapes everything beneath the surface. You are noticing that your reactions are slower, your discernment sharper, your tolerance for confusion lower. This is not emotional distance, it is spiritual maturity. You are no longer driven by impulse, and you are governed by understanding. At this stage, God is refining how you perceive time. You no longer measure progress by speed, but by depth. You are learning that being early can be just as dangerous as being late, and that precision often matters more than passion. What once felt like delay now reveals itself as synchronization. Things are aligning not just around you, but within you. You may feel less urgency to explain yourself. Silence no longer feels like weakness. In fact, you are discovering that silence carries authority when it is chosen, not forced. You no longer speak to convince, You speak to clarify, or you remain quiet when clarity is not required. This restraint protects you from unnecessary conflict and preserves energy for what truly matters. There is also a deeper honesty forming in you. You are less impressed by appearances, including your own. You no longer hide behind productivity, spirituality, or strength. You allow yourself to see what is real without condemnation. This honesty is not self-criticism, it is self-awareness. And self-awareness is a foundation for stewardship. God is also teaching you how to hold responsibility without letting it define your worth. You understand now that assignment is not identity. Success does not crown you, and failure does not disqualify you. You are learning to work from rest, not toward it. This shift protects your soul from burnout and pride alike. You may notice that certain ambitions are dissolving. Goals that once drove you no longer hold the same power. This does not mean you are losing vision. It means your vision is being purified. God is stripping away what was fueled by comparison or fear and leaving what is rooted in obedience. What remains may look simpler, but it carries far more weight. This purification can feel unsettling. When familiar motivations fade, there is a brief sense of emptiness. But that space is intentional. God creates room before He fills it. He empties what cannot endure so that what is eternal can take root. Do not rush to refill what He has cleared. Let the work finish. You are also becoming aware of how deeply interconnected obedience is. One decision touches another. One act of faithfulness opens a door you didn't know existed. You see now why shortcuts were blocked earlier. They would have bypassed lessons you needed for this level. God was not withholding opportunity, He was preserving continuity. In this season, character becomes louder than gifting. What you carry internally determines how far what you carry externally can travel. Talent may open doors, but character decides which ones remain open. This is why God has spent so much time shaping your inner responses. Influence without integrity fractures quickly. You are being built to last. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Speak directly into this transformation. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewal is not sudden, it is layered. Thought by thought and perspective by perspective, you are learning to recognize when old patterns try to resurface and gently refuse them. You are not fighting yourself anymore, you are retraining yourself. This is transformation with patience, not force. You may also feel a growing distance from chaos. Drama no longer excites you. Constant stimulation exhausts you. This is not superiority, it is alignment. Your nervous system is adjusting to peace. Your spirit is acclimating to order. What once felt boring now feels safe. What once felt thrilling now feels draining. As this happens, God entrusts you with more discernment regarding people. You no longer need to label or judge. You simply recognize fit. Some relationships no longer resonate, and that's okay. Others deepen naturally without effort. You are learning that alignment does not require maintenance. It sustains itself. This season also teaches you how to endure ambiguity. You don't need full clarity to remain faithful. Partial instruction no longer frustrates you. You move with what you have, trusting that the next step will be revealed when needed. This trust is not blind, it is practiced. You have seen God's faithfulness too many times to doubt His precision now. You are no longer asking, "When will it happen?" You are asking, "Who must I be when it does?" That question signals readiness. It shows that your focus has shifted from outcome to stewardship. God always responds to that shift. There is nothing missing here, nothing delayed unnecessarily, nothing wasted. What feels quiet is actually concentrated, like water before a flood. Pressure is building, but it is controlled, intentional, and purposeful. You are not waiting to become someone else. You are learning how to fully inhabit who you already are becoming. And that awareness changes how you walk forward, from striving to steadiness, from anxiety to attention. This is not a pause. This is preparation reaching maturity. You are now entering a stretch of the journey where what happens inside you matters more than what happens around you. External circumstances may look ordinary, even uneventful, but internally, foundations are being reinforced. This is the season where God teaches you how to remain anchored regardless of movement on the surface. Stability becomes the assignment. You are learning how to live without constant emotional spikes. Highs no longer intoxicate you, and lows no longer derail you. Your inner world is settling into rhythm. This does not mean you feel less, it means you feel more accurately. Emotions are no longer steering, they are informing. Wisdom now sits at the center. One of the most significant shifts happening now is your relationship with control. You are realizing how much energy was once spent trying to manage outcomes, protect yourself from disappointment, or anticipate every possible turn. That effort is slowly releasing its grip. Trust is not being forced, it is being learned through repetition. Each time God proves faithful, your need to control weakens. You are also becoming more aware of the difference between pressure and prompting. Pressure rushes and exhausts. Prompting invites and steadies. You are learning to recognize which voice you are responding to. This discernment protects you from burnout and keeps your obedience sustainable. You no longer confuse urgency with importance. At this level, God begins to refine your motivations even further. He is less concerned with what you do and more attentive to why you do it. Actions rooted in fear, comparison, or self-preservation are gently exposed, not to shame you, but to free you. You are being taught to act from trust rather than insecurity. This refinement extends to how you view success. Achievement no longer defines you. You can accomplish much and remain grounded. You can also experience delay without losing confidence. Your worth is no longer tied to productivity. This shift allows you to work diligently without being consumed by results. There may be moments in this season where things feel slower than you expected. Progress is happening, but it is internal and therefore harder to measure. This can feel uncomfortable if you are used to visible markers. But God is prioritizing endurance over speed. What is being built now is meant to withstand pressure, not impress spectators. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16, offering a principle for this exact moment. Stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient paths. Ask where the good way is and walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls. This rest is not inactivity, it is alignment. It is the rest that comes from walking in a way that fits who you are becoming. You are no longer trying to force yourself into paths that require constant strain. You are choosing what carries peace. Even if it appears less impressive at first glance, you are also learning to honor limits, not as weaknesses but as wisdom. You recognize when to stop, when to pause, when to say no. These boundaries protect your calling. They ensure that your strength is available when it truly matters. You are discovering that restraint is a form of power. As this happens, your spiritual senses sharpen. You perceive undercurrents in conversations. You sense when something is being rushed or when timing is off. This sensitivity is not paranoia, it is attunement. You are becoming fluent in listening beneath words and watching beyond appearances. This season also reshapes how you handle uncertainty. You no longer demand immediate answers. You can sit with questions without anxiety. You trust that understanding will arrive when it becomes useful, not merely when curiosity demands it. This patience is evidence of maturity. You may notice fewer dramatic breakthroughs and more consistent faithfulness. That is intentional. God is stabilizing you. He is teaching you how to maintain alignment over long stretches, not just in moments of intensity. Consistency builds capacity. Relationships are affected here as well. You gravitate toward those who value depth over noise. Conversations slow down. Presence matters more than performance. You are less interested in being impressive and more interested in being real. This shift filters your environment naturally. There is also an increase in self-compassion. You are learning to correct without condemning, to adjust without shaming yourself. Growth no longer requires self-punishment. Grace becomes a partner in transformation, not an excuse to remain the same. You are not being asked to do more right now. You are being asked to be more grounded, to live from the center rather than the edge, to let stability become your witness. Nothing is missing. Nothing is stalled. You are exactly where reinforcement happens, where roots deepen, where endurance is secured, where quiet strength replaces fragile intensity. This is not a season to rush through. This is a season to settle correctly. Carry this steadiness with you as you move forward. Let it inform every choice, every response, every pause. What is rooted now will hold later. You are not being delayed, you are being secured for what comes next. You are crossing into a stage where clarity replaces effort. Not because effort disappears, but because resistance no longer defines your movement. What once felt like pushing now feels like positioning. You are learning how to move with truth instead of against tension. That change alters how everything feels. At this point, you begin to recognize how much noise you've already outgrown. Opinions that once mattered now register as background sound. Expectations that once pressured you now dissolve under discernment. You are no longer shaped by what is loud, but by what is true. This shift is subtle, but it is permanent. You may notice that your sense of identity has stabilized. You are not reinventing yourself with every season. You are refining, not redefining. There is a core you return to, a centered place that remains steady even when circumstances fluctuate. That core was built through endurance, not inspiration. This season teaches you how to carry authority without asserting it. You no longer need to convince others of what you know. Your presence speaks quietly. Decisions become simpler because they are filtered through alignment instead of urgency. You are not asking, "Will this work?" You are asking, "Does this fit?" There is also a deeper honesty forming in how you assess yourself. You see your limits without shame and your strengths without exaggeration. You no longer perform humility or confidence, you embody balance. That balance makes you trustworthy, both to others and to yourself. You are also learning that not every door needs to be opened, even if you have the ability. Discernment now includes restraint. Just because you can does not mean you should. This wisdom protects your energy and preserves your calling. You are becoming selective without becoming closed. This is where emotional maturity becomes evident. You no longer react immediately. You pause, assess, and respond with intention. Emotions still arise, but they do not rule. They inform, then step aside. This allows you to remain grounded even when conversations or situations carry weight. The ancient words recorded in Proverbs, chapter 4, Verse 23. Offer guidance for this exact moment above all else. Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. You are doing that now not by building walls, but by setting boundaries. You guard your heart by choosing where to invest attention, trust, and effort. You no longer scatter yourself. Focus has become an act of stewardship. You may also feel a growing comfort with solitude, not isolation, but chosen quiet. Time alone no longer feels empty, it feels restorative. In stillness, you hear more clearly. You think more deeply. You reconnect with what matters before re-engaging with the world. This rhythm strengthens you. There is also an acceptance settling in. You accept that some things will not return. Some seasons are complete, and some versions of you are finished. This acceptance is not loss. It is release. You are no longer trying to carry what cannot go forward with you. As this happens, your discernment about people becomes gentler but firmer. You don't need to cut ties dramatically. You simply adjust proximity. You allow alignment to determine closeness. This reduces conflict and preserves peace. You are also becoming more patient with process. You no longer rush outcomes because you trust formation. You understand that what is rushed often requires repair later. What is built slowly tends to endure. This patience is not passive, it is informed. This is a season where inner agreement matters. When your thoughts, actions, and values align, movement becomes smooth. Resistance decreases not because challenges disappear, but because you are no longer divided internally. Unity within produces stability without. Now comes a moment of response not for performance, but for clarity. Words can solidify awareness when they are chosen carefully. A simple statement can anchor a complex realization. Comment this below, I stand steady. That phrase reflects your posture in this season, not rushed, not withdrawn, but grounded. By writing it, you are acknowledging that you no longer move from fear or urgency, but from alignment and trust. It is a quiet declaration that stability has replaced striving. You are not becoming someone new here. You are standing fully as who you have been formed to be. When you comment, I stand steady, you are affirming that inner alignment now guides your steps. You are declaring that pressure no longer dictates your pace. This statement reflects a settled heart, one that trusts timing, honors process, and remains grounded even when circumstances shift unexpectedly. By writing, I stand steady, you are also choosing consistency over reaction. You acknowledge that maturity allows you to pause, assess, and respond wisely. This comment marks a transition from impulsive movement to intentional direction, reinforcing your commitment to walk with clarity rather than urgency. Each time you return to the words, I stand steady, you remind yourself of who you are in this season. Not shaken, not rushed, not divided. This declaration becomes an anchor, steadying your thoughts, strengthening your resolve, and keeping your focus aligned with what truly matters. There is a noticeable shift now, not dramatic, not sudden, but unmistakable. You are no longer walking with the tension of someone trying to arrive. You are walking like someone who understands they are already on the right road. That understanding changes your posture. Your shoulders relax when your breathing deepens. You move without constantly checking how far you have left to go. This level teaches you how to carry peace without becoming passive. You are alert, but not anxious, engaged, but not entangled. You know when to lean in and when to let things unfold. This balance was not learned quickly. It came from years of adjusting, misjudging, correcting, and learning again. Now, wisdom operates quietly, almost invisibly, You begin to realize that not everything meaningful needs to be urgent. Some things are meant to be tended slowly, like gardens rather than fires. You water consistently. You protect patiently. You trust growth that happens underground before it ever appears above the surface. This perspective changes how you treat your calling. You stop rushing it. You start honoring it. Your relationship with effort also transforms. You still work, still show up, still give your best, but without strain. You understand now that striving and diligence are not the same. One drains you, the other strengthens you. You choose the kind of effort that aligns with grace, not the kind that tries to replace it. There is also a deeper reverence forming for timing. You no longer envy those who seem ahead, nor fear being behind. You recognize that every path has its own pace. Comparison loses its grip because you are no longer measuring progress externally. Alignment has become your metric. The ancient words recorded in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11. Speak gently into this awareness. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Not rushed, not delayed. In its time, that truth settles you. You stop trying to make things beautiful prematurely. You allow seasons to complete their work. You trust that what is unfolding does not need your anxiety to improve its outcome. At this point, something interesting happens. You notice others crossing paths with you, some briefly, some for longer stretches. A few walk beside you for a while. There is no pressure to convince them of anything. Those who resonate naturally slow their pace to match yours. Those who don't continue on. This ease is new, and it feels right. Imagine this journey like a long road at dusk. The light is soft. The noise has faded. You are not alone, but you are not crowded either. Along the way, there are markers, small signs that say, someone passed here and was changed. Stones stacked gently, lanterns left burning, nothing flashy, just evidence of presence. To like this moment is like leaving one of those stones behind. A quiet acknowledgement that something here resonated, that the road made sense for a moment, that the light helped you see more clearly. No announcement needed, just a sign that says, I was here, and this mattered. To share it is like lifting a lantern and placing it a little farther down the path, not forcing anyone to follow, but making sure the way is visible for those who are already walking in the same direction. It's an act of consideration, not persuasion. A simple offering of light, and to subscribe is choosing to walk this stretch together. Not out of obligation, not because you must, but because companionship on a long road can be meaningful. You match pace. You respect silence. You continue forward side by side, aware that the journey is richer when it's shared intentionally. None of these choices are demanded. Roads don't ask travelers to commit. They simply remain open, ready for those who recognize them. What is real never needs pressure. It invites, and then it waits. As you continue, you notice that your inner voice has softened. Self-criticism gives way to self-awareness. You correct without condemning. You adjust without shaming. This kindness toward yourself strengthens resilience far more than harsh discipline ever did. You are also more comfortable with mystery now. Not knowing everything no longer unsettles you. You trust the unfolding. You understand that clarity often comes after movement, not before. This trust allows you to step forward without needing guarantees. There is a dignity to how you move at this level. You are not proving anything. You are not hiding anything. You are simply being faithful to what you know and open to what you don't yet see. That posture attracts what belongs to you without chasing it. The road continues, the light remains, the pace is steady, and you walk on grounded, attentive, and free. As you move forward, the road feels less uncertain and more familiar. Each step confirms the last. You are no longer questioning whether you belong here. You know you do, and that certainty steadies your pace without needing reassurance. Carry this calm with you into what comes next. Let it shape how you listen, choose, and respond. What unfolds ahead will meet you at the pace of trust, not urgency, and you will recognize it when it arrives. You are entering a season where integration becomes the work. Nothing new is being added right now. Instead, everything you have learned is being woven together. Insights that once felt separate are beginning to align. Lessons from different seasons now speak to each other. What once felt fragmented is forming a coherent whole. This is the stage where wisdom matures into practice. Knowledge alone no longer satisfies you. You want truth that can be lived, not just understood. You are less interested in collecting insights and more committed to embodying them. This shift changes how you approach every decision, from the smallest daily choices to the larger directions of your life. You may notice that your inner dialogue has changed. It is calmer, more grounded, less reactive. You no longer rush to label experiences as good or bad. You observe, discern, and respond with patience. This internal steadiness allows you to move through complexity without losing clarity. God is also teaching you how to hold paradox. You can be confident and teachable at the same time. Strong and gentle, decisive and patient. These are not contradictions, they are signs of maturity. You are no longer choosing between extremes. You are learning how to live in balance. At this level, your relationship with effort continues to evolve. You still show discipline, but you are no longer driven by fear of falling behind. Your motivation now comes from stewardship rather than anxiety. You care for what you've been given, not because you are afraid to lose it, but because you value it. There is also a deepening respect for process. You no longer resist repetition. You understand that mastery often requires returning to the same fundamentals again and again with greater awareness. What once felt monotonous now feels grounding. Faithfulness has become meaningful in itself. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15. And its wisdom settles into this season. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. This strength is not loud. It does not announce itself. It sustains. You are discovering that trust expressed through consistency builds far more resilience than bursts of intensity ever could. You may also feel a reduced need for external affirmation. Approval no longer fuels you the way it once did. You appreciate encouragement, but you are not dependent on it. Your sense of direction comes from alignment, not applause. This independence frees you to act with integrity even when recognition is absent. Relationships are continuing to clarify. You are drawn to those who value depth, honesty, and presence. Surface-level interactions feel less satisfying. You are not withdrawing from people, you are choosing meaningful connection over constant engagement. This discernment preserves your energy and protects your focus. There is also an increase in patience with others. You understand that everyone moves at a different pace. You no longer expect immediate growth or instant understanding. Compassion grows as your own journey becomes clearer. You can offer grace without compromising truth. You may notice that your sense of purpose feels quieter but more certain. You are no longer chasing a single defining moment. You recognize that purpose is expressed through faithfulness in ordinary days. This realization removes pressure and invites consistency. At this stage, obedience becomes simpler, not easier, but clearer. You know what is required, even when it costs something. And because you trust the one who asks, you can comply without resentment. Obedience is no longer a struggle, it is a response. You are also learning how to endure ambiguity without anxiety. You don't need to see the full picture to remain faithful. Partial understanding no longer unsettles you. You move with what has been revealed, confident that what remains hidden will unfold in time. There is a quiet confidence emerging now. Not confidence in your own ability, but confidence in the process that formed you. You trust the shaping. You trust the timing. You trust the guidance. This trust allows you to remain present rather than preoccupied with what comes next. Nothing feels rushed here. Nothing feels forced. You are not behind, and you are not early. You are exactly where integration happens, where growth settles into character, where wisdom becomes instinct, where faith becomes embodied. This season does not demand more from you. It reveals who you have already become. From this place of integration, your choices gain quiet authority. You no longer second-guess every step. Discernment flows naturally, guiding you without strain. What once required effort now feels instinctive, because wisdom has settled into habit and alignment has become your default posture. Carry this embodiment forward. Let it shape how you speak, how you wait, how you act when no one is watching. What has been formed in you will continue to speak through you steadily, faithfully, without needing explanation. You move ahead without urgency, grounded in trust. Each step reflects what has already been shaped within you. There is no need to rush the future. You are prepared to meet it with steadiness, clarity, and quiet confidence. You are now standing in a place where awareness and responsibility meet. This is not the beginning of something new, but the recognition that what has been forming quietly is ready to be acknowledged. You sense it in the way your decisions carry more weight, in the way your spirit responds faster to what is aligned and withdraws quicker from what is not. This is not pressure, it is readiness. At this level, you are no longer asking for signs to move forward. You are learning to recognize confirmation through peace, through order, through a steady inner agreement. Chaos no longer excites you. Urgency no longer impresses you. You have learned that what is truly appointed does not need to rush you into motion. It invites you into alignment. There is also a growing awareness that your life is interconnected in ways you did not fully see before. Choices are no longer isolated events. One decision affects another. One act of obedience creates space for the next instruction. You understand now why certain things could not happen earlier. Timing was protecting structure. You may notice that your spiritual senses are more alert. You catch subtle misalignments quickly. You feel unease sooner, peace faster, clarity deeper. This sensitivity is not fragility. It is discernment refined through experience. You are not easily shaken because you are no longer easily confused. In this stage, God is not increasing information, He is increasing trust. He is teaching you how to move with what you already know. Revelation without application loses power, but revelation that is lived becomes authority. You are stepping into that authority now, not loud, not dominating, but unmistakable. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, a principle is established for moments like this. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. That verse explains why patience has been such a central theme in your formation. Waiting was not passive, it was preparatory. What arrives at the appointed time arrives intact, not rushed, not incomplete, not fragile. You are now seeing the value of that restraint. This season also clarifies your relationship with responsibility. You no longer avoid it, but you also no longer carry what is not yours. Discernment helps you distinguish between assignment and distraction. You understand that saying no is sometimes the most faithful act. Boundaries protect calling. There is a steadiness in you now that others may notice, even if they cannot name it. You are less reactive, more intentional, less scattered, more focused. This is not because life has become easier, but because you have become more grounded. Stability has taken root. Now comes a moment of acknowledgement, not a performance, not a ritual, simply a marker, a way of recognizing alignment as it stands. At the end of this section, comment the number 369 below. This number represents alignment between intention, action, and outcome. It reflects the process you are in: clarity forming, structure settling, and purpose beginning to express itself outwardly. By writing 369, you are affirming that what has been prepared internally is ready to be carried forward with order and trust. You are not stepping blindly. You are moving with understanding. When you comment 369, you are marking a moment of conscious alignment. You are acknowledging that intention, discipline, and outcome are no longer disconnected in your life. This number reflects order replacing confusion, structure replacing hesitation, and clarity guiding your movement forward with confidence rather than force. By writing 369, you are also recognizing timing. You are declaring that you trust the appointed moment instead of rushing results. This comment represents patience matured into wisdom, a willingness to let what is forming complete its work before stepping into full expression. Each time you type 369, you affirm balance. Balance between vision and execution, faith and action, stillness and movement. You are choosing to live from the center rather than the extremes. This declaration steadies your focus and protects you from being pulled off course by urgency or distraction. Commenting 369 is a reminder of responsibility accepted, not avoided. It signals that you are ready to carry what has been prepared without resistance. You are no longer waiting to feel perfect or fully certain. You are moving with grounded trust and informed obedience. Finally, 369 becomes a personal marker you can return to, a reminder that alignment was chosen consciously, not emotionally. When doubt tries to rise, this declaration anchors you back to the moment you agreed with order, clarity, and purposeful movement forward. When you comment 369, you are also affirming commitment to continuity. You are saying that alignment is not a one-time decision but a way of living. This declaration reflects your choice to remain consistent when enthusiasm fades, to stay ordered when emotions fluctuate, and to trust the structure God has established even when progress feels quiet. You are now moving through a phase where endurance is no longer something you practice, it is something you embody. The long work has settled into you. What once required conscious effort now flows as instinct. You no longer brace yourself for resistance at every turn, because you understand that resistance is no longer the measure of progress. Faithfulness is. This season feels quieter, but it is not empty. It is dense with meaning. You are carrying forward lessons that were once heavy but are now integrated. You do not relive the past to draw strength from it. Strength rises naturally because the past has already done its work. Scars have stopped demanding attention. They simply testify. You may notice that your sense of urgency has softened even more, not because the calling has faded, but because panic has lost its voice. You know now that what is meant to unfold will do so in proper order. This knowledge does not make you passive, it makes you precise. You move with intention, not impulse. There is also a growing confidence in restraint. You no longer feel the need to respond to every provocation. explain every decision, or defend every boundary. Silence has become a form of wisdom. You understand that not everything deserves access to your energy, and not every question requires an answer. At this level, discernment becomes relational rather than analytical. You don't overthink alignment, you sense it. You don't debate timing, you recognize it. The mind still serves you, but it no longer dominates. Awareness has moved deeper, into intuition shaped by truth. You may also find that your relationship with effort has refined again. You work diligently, but without self-neglect. You rest without guilt. You understand now that sustainability is holy. Burnout is not evidence of faithfulness. Longevity requires balance, and balance requires humility. This humility expresses itself in how you view your own growth. You are no longer impressed with yourself, nor are you disappointed. You simply see yourself clearly. Strengths are acknowledged without pride. Weaknesses are addressed without shame. This clarity allows genuine growth to continue. The ancient words recorded in the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, speak into this precise moment of endurance. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That harvest is not only future-facing. Some of it is already present in who you are becoming. The patience you carry, the stability you embody, the wisdom you operate from. These are fruits, even before outcomes manifest externally. You are also becoming more comfortable with seasons that lack visible affirmation. You no longer need constant confirmation to remain faithful. Your commitment is no longer fueled by reward anticipation, but by conviction. This shift protects you from disappointment and anchors you in purpose. There is a subtle courage forming here, the courage to continue when nothing dramatic happens, to remain consistent when excitement fades, to show up when there is no applause. This kind of courage is rare, and it is powerful. It builds legacies quietly. You may notice that your prayers are changing. Less asking, more listening, less urgency, more alignment. You are not trying to persuade God anymore, you are positioning yourself to respond. This posture deepens intimacy and sharpens direction. Your understanding of impact is also evolving. You no longer measure influence by reach alone. You see the value of depth. One faithful act, one truthful conversation, one moment of integrity can ripple farther than visibility ever could. You are content planting seeds you may never see fully grow. This season also brings clarity about identity. You are no longer defined by transition. You are defined by consistency. You are not becoming in the frantic sense, you are settling. Settling into truth, settling into purpose, settling into trust. You recognize now that stability is not stagnation. It is the platform from which meaningful movement happens. Without stability, growth fractures. With it, growth multiplies. This is why God has spent so long establishing you here. There is no rush to the next chapter. This chapter is not incomplete. It is solidifying. And what solidifies well supports what comes next without strain. You are not waiting for something to start. You are sustaining what has already begun. From this place of endurance, your presence gains quiet weight. People may not always know why they trust you, but they feel it. Consistency builds credibility over time. You are becoming someone whose steadiness reassures others, not through words, but through the reliability of your walk and the integrity of your choices. Carry this steadiness forward without needing to protect it aggressively. Let it breathe. Let it work. What has been formed in patience will continue to speak long after noise fades. You are not required to prove endurance, you are living it. And that is enough. You are now walking in a season where responsibility feels natural rather than heavy. What once intimidated you no longer does. Not because the weight has lessened, but because your strength has grown. Capacity has caught up with calling. You are no longer stretching to hold what is required, you are holding it with steadiness. This stage brings a deeper understanding of authority. Not authority that demands attention, but authority that settles environments. You notice how situations calm when you remain calm, how clarity emerges when you refuse to rush. This influence is not something you announce, it is something you carry. It comes from alignment sustained over time, not from position or recognition. You are also learning how to steward power without being consumed by it. Power here does not mean control over others, it means governance over self. You regulate your responses, you choose timing wisely, you speak with intention. This self-governance protects you from misusing influence when pressure increases. There is also a noticeable shift in how you view challenges. Problems no longer feel personal. You don't internalize resistance as rejection. You assess situations with discernment rather than emotion. This objectivity allows you to respond strategically instead of reactively. You are no longer fighting for validation. You are stewarding responsibility. At this level, patience expresses itself as wisdom. You understand when to intervene and when to allow processes to unfold. You resist the urge to rescue prematurely. You trust growth cycles, knowing that interruption can hinder development. This restraint is not indifference, it is maturity. You may notice that your internal language has changed. You speak to yourself with clarity rather than criticism. You correct without condemning. You acknowledge progress without exaggeration. This internal leadership sets the tone for how you lead externally, whether formally or informally. God is also refining your relationship with outcomes. You care deeply, but you are not attached obsessively. You give your best effort, then release control. This detachment does not diminish excellence, it preserves peace. You understand now that faithfulness is your responsibility, results are not fully yours to manage. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Micah, chapter 6, verse 8, and its instruction aligns precisely with this stage. What does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. That walk, steady, humble, faithful, has become your rhythm. Justice informs your decisions. Mercy shapes your interactions, and humility anchors your growth. These qualities are no longer ideals you strive for. They are values you practice daily. You are also becoming more discerning about legacy. You think beyond immediate impact. You consider what your choices model for others, even when no one is watching. This awareness does not pressure you. It clarifies you. You understand that legacy is built quietly, through consistency over time. This season brings a deeper comfort with complexity. You can hold tension without rushing to resolve it. You can honor multiple truths without forcing false simplicity. This capacity allows you to navigate nuanced situations with grace rather than rigidity. You may also notice that your confidence is no longer performative. You don't need to appear certain to be certain. You can say, "I don't know," without insecurity. You can ask questions without feeling diminished. This openness strengthens your leadership rather than weakening it. There is also an increased ability to recover. When mistakes happen, you adjust quickly. You don't spiral. You learn, correct, and continue. Resilience has replaced perfectionism. This resilience ensures longevity. Your sense of calling feels integrated now. It is no longer something you switch on or off. It informs how you live, how you work, how you relate. Purpose is not an activity, it is a posture. And that posture is now stable. You may feel less need to seek affirmation for choices you know are right. Validation has become internal. This does not isolate you, it frees you. You can collaborate without compromising. You can receive feedback without losing direction. This is also a season of quiet multiplication. Seeds planted earlier are beginning to produce fruit, sometimes in unexpected places. You may not immediately recognize the connection, but patterns are emerging. Faithfulness compounds. You are learning how to remain teachable even as competence increases. You stay open. You stay curious. You stay aware that growth does not end with proficiency. This humility keeps you adaptable and relevant. There is no urgency to define what comes next. You are present with what is now. You understand that clarity often follows faithfulness, not the other way around. And so you continue steady, attentive, grounded. You are not striving to become trustworthy. You are living as someone who already is. From this place of trustworthiness, your influence extends naturally. You do not seek to expand it. It expands because stability invites responsibility. Others sense reliability in you and lean on it without being asked. You remain aware that this trust is not a burden but a stewardship. You carry it with care, knowing that faithfulness in small things sustains integrity in greater ones. You are standing at a point where the road widens, not because it demands speed, but because it allows companionship. Up to now, much of your journey required solitude, focus, and restraint. But here, something softens, not the discipline your heart. You recognize that while formation often happens alone, continuation does not have to. This level teaches you the beauty of shared presence, not crowds, not noise, but resonance. The kind of connection where no one needs to convince anyone of anything. You walk together because the rhythm matches. You pause together because the silence feels safe. You move forward because the direction is mutually understood. You are no longer guarded in the way you once were. You still protect what is sacred, but you no longer hide it. Discernment has matured into hospitality, knowing when to open space without losing structure. This balance allows trust to form naturally, without pressure. Imagine a long table at the end of a day's journey. No banners, no announcements. Just a simple invitation implied by warmth and light. Some pass by, grateful but full. Others stop briefly, and a few sit down, not because they were summoned, but because something in them recognizes rest. This is how connection works at this stage. It is never demanded, it is offered. Those who come do so freely. Those who don't are still honored. Nothing real is diminished by choice. You may notice that your voice has changed again, not in tone but in intention. You speak less to persuade and more to witness. Your words are no longer tools, they are reflections. And reflections invite response without coercion. There is also a new generosity forming in you. Not the kind that overextends, but the kind that shares from overflow. You are no longer giving to be seen or validated. You give because you recognize value and want to preserve it beyond yourself. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 8, "Freely you have received, freely give." That freedom is the key. What is freely given is freely received or not, and both outcomes are respected. If this message were a path through a forest, some would notice the clearing and feel relief. Others would feel curiosity. A few would feel recognition. None are wrong. Each response reflects a different place in the journey. To like this moment is like leaving your footprints visible for a while longer, a subtle sign that says, This stretch of the road mattered to me. No explanation required. Just presence acknowledged. To share it is like opening the gate behind you, not dragging anyone through, but making sure it doesn't close too quickly for those who may arrive later, walking at a different pace, in a different light. And to subscribe is choosing to keep walking nearby, not hand in hand, not tethered but aware of one another's presence. It is the quiet agreement to continue this part of the journey together, respecting silence, honoring pace, and trusting direction. There is no pressure here, no obligation, only invitation. What is chosen freely carries meaning. What is forced carries none. You are also learning how to let your work speak without monitoring its reception. You release what is true and let it find its place. This detachment protects your joy. It allows you to remain generous without becoming depleted. At this level, commentary matters more than applause. Thoughtful presence matters more than numbers. Depth matters more than reach. You understand now that not everything valuable scales, and that is not a failure. It is design. You are becoming comfortable with being part of something rather than the center of it. This humility does not diminish you, it integrates you. You find strength in shared direction without losing individuality. There is also a softness in how you view those who are not here yet. You no longer judge their pace. You remember your own. Compassion replaces comparison. Invitation replaces explanation. If you feel moved to leave a comment, let it be a simple reflection, something true, something present, something that marks where you are right now. Not for performance, not for approval, but as a quiet stone placed along the path saying, I was here, and this spoke to me. This is how meaning circulates, not through force, but through recognition. The journey continues, not louder, but richer. And you walk on, not alone, not crowded, just accompanied enough to remind you that the road was never meant to be traveled in isolation forever. As you continue, you notice how companionship changes the texture of the journey. The road feels less demanding, not because it has become easier, but because presence lightens the weight. Shared silence becomes as meaningful as shared words. You understand now that walking alongside others does not slow you down, it steadies you. Carry this openness with care. Not every path needs many travelers, but every traveler benefits from one or two who understand the pace. Let connection remain gentle, chosen, and respectful. What grows here will endure because it was never rushed or forced. You are now moving through a phase where everything you have lived, learned, endured, and integrated begins to converge. Not dramatically, not all at once, but with a quiet inevitability. This is the season where coherence replaces effort. Your life starts to feel internally aligned, not because circumstances are perfect, but because your inner world is no longer fragmented. You are no longer switching between versions of yourself depending on context. What you believe, how you act, and what you value are beginning to move in the same direction. This unity brings relief. You expend less energy managing contradictions and more energy living truthfully. Integrity has become less of a discipline and more of a reflex. At this level, you are learning how to remain faithful without intensity. Passion still exists, but it is no longer volatile. It burns steadily rather than flaring unpredictably. You no longer need emotional highs to stay committed. You remain present even when things feel ordinary. This steadiness is rare and it is powerful. You may notice that your perception of success has shifted again. You no longer measure it by accumulation or recognition. You measure it by coherence, by whether your inner and outer lives agree. A quiet day lived truthfully now feels more successful than a celebrated moment lived out of alignment. There is also a growing acceptance of limits. You are no longer frustrated by what you cannot control. You recognize boundaries not as failures, but as design. You understand now that God works through structure as much as through freedom. Limits protect purpose. They give shape to calling. This acceptance allows you to rest more deeply, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. You are not constantly scanning for threats or opportunities. You trust that what is meant to reach you will do so without constant vigilance. This trust frees attention for what is actually in front of you. You are also becoming more patient with unfolding outcomes. You understand that maturity does not rush harvest. It tends soil. It removes weeds. It waters consistently. You no longer demand immediate results from faithful labor. You trust seasons because you have lived through enough of them to recognize their rhythm. There is a noticeable depth to how you listen now. You hear what is being said, but you also hear what is underneath. You are attentive without being intrusive, present without being controlling. This quality makes others feel safe around you, even if they cannot articulate why. At this stage, God is entrusting you with influence that is subtle but enduring. Not influence built on charisma, but on reliability. Not authority imposed, but authority recognized. You are becoming someone whose presence steadies situations simply by remaining consistent. The ancient words recorded in the book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 36, speak directly to this moment. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. This perseverance is not about grit alone. It is about alignment maintained over time. You are no longer persevering because you are afraid to quit. You persevere because you are rooted. Roots do not strain to remain in place, they simply grow deeper. You are also learning how to carry hope without impatience. You believe in what is coming, but you are not preoccupied with when. This balance allows joy to exist in the present rather than being postponed indefinitely. You are no longer living on hold. There is a gentleness emerging in how you correct yourself. When missteps happen, you adjust without self-accusation. You learn quickly and move forward. Shame no longer lingers. This resilience ensures continuity rather than disruption. You may also notice that you are less tempted to narrate your journey. You don't need to explain your progress to validate it. You let your life speak quietly over time. This silence is not secrecy. It is confidence without exhibition. At this level, prayer becomes less about request and more about alignment. You are not constantly asking for change, you are offering availability. You listen more than you speak, and when you do speak, it is with clarity rather than desperation. Your understanding of faith has matured. It is no longer abstract. It is embodied in how you treat people, manage time, respond to stress, and remain faithful when outcomes are unclear. Faith has moved from belief into practice. You also recognize now that preparation has an endpoint not because learning stops, but because formation reaches stability. You are no longer being built from scratch. You are being strengthened for longevity, reinforced rather than reshaped. This season does not announce itself. Others may not recognize it, but you do, and that is enough. You are not standing on the edge of something fragile. You are standing within something solid. From this solid place, your steps feel assured without becoming rigid. You move forward with flexibility rooted in conviction. Challenges no longer threaten your center, they refine it. You trust the ground beneath you because it has been tested and held. What comes next will meet you not as a surprise, but as a continuation of what has already been faithfully built. You have reached a place where arrival no longer feels like an ending. It feels like residence. You are not standing at a finish line waiting for applause. You are standing on ground that recognizes you. What once felt distant is now familiar. Not because everything has been fulfilled, but because you have become someone who can dwell faithfully in what is entrusted. This final stretch is not about intensity. It is about inheritance. You are no longer proving readiness, you are living from it. The years of shaping, restraining, waiting, correcting, and enduring have converged into something stable. You are not rushing forward, and you are not looking back. You are present, and presence is power. There is a calm authority in how you move now. Not authority that dominates, but authority that reassures. You no longer need to signal strength. It is evident in consistency. You no longer need to announce truth. It is evident in alignment. Your life speaks in a language quieter than words. You understand now that being chosen was never about elevation above others. It was about responsibility toward what was entrusted. You were chosen to carry weight without becoming hardened, to walk with clarity without losing compassion, to stand firm without becoming rigid. That balance is not accidental. It was formed slowly, deliberately, faithfully. This is also where gratitude deepens. Not the emotional kind that rises and falls, but the grounded kind that recognizes cost and still says yes. You are grateful not because the road was easy, but because it was meaningful. You would not trade the formation for convenience, because you see now what it produced. There is a quiet reverence in you for process. You no longer mock small beginnings or dismiss slow growth. You honor the unseen work. You understand that what lasts is rarely rushed. This perspective protects you from both pride and despair. You are also at peace with incompleteness. Some things remain unresolved, some questions unanswered, but they no longer disturb you. You trust that not everything needs closure to carry meaning. Faith has taught you how to live faithfully without full explanation. The ancient words recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 12, echo with clarity at this stage. The one who is victorious I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. A pillar does not rush. It stands, it supports, it remains. That imagery reflects what you have become, not someone constantly moving to prove value, but someone whose presence holds space for others to stand, rest, and grow. You have learned how to remain when others flee, how to endure when others escape, how to stay aligned when shortcuts appear tempting. This endurance is not stubbornness. It is devotion refined by time. There is also a tenderness in you now. Not fragility, but compassion born from understanding. You no longer judge others for being where you once were. You recognize struggle without romanticizing it. You offer patience without enabling stagnation. This balance allows you to serve without losing yourself. Your faith no longer needs dramatics. It is embedded in routine, in integrity, in restraint. You live it quietly, steadily, faithfully. And that quiet faith carries more weight than loud declarations ever could. You also understand that your story will continue unfolding beyond this moment. There will be new seasons, new responsibilities, new forms of obedience. But the foundation will not need rebuilding. It is set. What comes next will build upon what already stands. You are no longer afraid of obscurity or visibility. Both are tools. Both have purpose. You accept whichever is required without attaching identity to either. This freedom protects your joy. You know now that being a chosen one was never about exclusivity. It was about availability. You made yourself available to correction, to formation, to patience, to truth. And that availability shaped everything. This is not the end of movement. It is the beginning of stewardship lived from wholeness. You are not arriving to rest from faithfulness. You are resting within it. From here, you carry forward a quieter confidence, not the kind that announces itself, but the kind that endures pressure without losing shape. Your steps are unhurried, yet intentional. You trust what has been formed because it was tested, refined, and proven faithful over time. You will notice that future challenges no longer destabilize you. They inform you. Each one becomes an invitation to apply what you already know rather than relearn what you have outgrown. This awareness allows you to respond wisely, without fear, panic, or unnecessary resistance. Moments of stillness will continue to speak to you. In them, you will recognize guidance without strain and correction without condemnation. You will learn again and again that growth does not always feel dramatic, but it always leaves you more aligned than before. As you move forward, let simplicity guide you. Return often to what is true, steady, and life-giving. Complexity will come and go, but clarity remains. And when you choose clarity, you choose a path that continues to hold you firm, faithful, and grounded. As this journey closes, there is no dramatic exit, no curtain falling, no demand for response. Just a quiet moment at the edge of the road, where you pause not because you are finished, but because you have been walking with intention. Endings like this are not conclusion. They are places where meaning settles. If this message felt like a mirror at times, that was not accidental. Mirrors don't ask you to applaud them. They simply reflect. And when something reflects you accurately, the natural response is not noise, but recognition. A gentle nod, a moment of stillness, an inward yes. To like this message is like placing your hand briefly on the doorframe before you leave, acknowledging that something here held weight for you. No announcement, just a quiet sign of appreciation for a moment that mattered. To share it is like passing along a compass rather than a map, not telling anyone where to go, only offering direction to someone who is already walking and may need confirmation that they are not lost. To subscribe is choosing to keep this space nearby, not as an obligation, but as a place you may return to when you need stillness, perspective, or grounding. Like a familiar path, you know you can walk again when the world feels loud. And if you choose to comment, let it be simple and honest. A reflection, a sentence, a single word, not to impress, but to mark where you are right now. Words have a way of anchoring moments, and moments deserve to be remembered. None of this is required. Meaning never is. What resonates stays because it belongs, not because it was requested. You are free to move on. You are free to stay connected. You are free to choose what feels true. And whatever you choose, carry forward what aligned with you. That is more than enough.